much, much more. Here are your hosts, Eric Kowal of MyMMANews.com and AJ Hiller of MMASignaturesUSA.com.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of My MMA News Radio. I'm your host, Eric Kowal, joined as always by my partner in crime, AJ Hiller. And tonight we have a very special guest in the USKA matchmaker, Ms. Jen Heffentrager. How are you tonight, Jen?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Good, I'm glad you're here. The reason we brought you in is you've got a fight card coming up next Saturday, not this week, I think it's the 21st in Allentown, Pennsylvania at the Econo Lodge. And we just wanted to get a kind of a rundown of the event, get maybe some information on some of the fighters competing. And before we get into all that, though, let's talk about how you got into the sport in kickboxing and Muay Thai.
I feel like I can't see it. I started boxing about 10 years ago. My trainer was an amateur boxer, and at the time, I really wasn't into fitness, which is completely a 180 from what I am now. But so I was just getting sick of the whole fitness thing, and he said, why don't you try some boxing with me? And I said, okay, I'll try it. I don't know if it's going to be a good fit or whatever. I had watched boxing, and, I was interested in combat sports, but not for myself. So I tried it with him, and the rest is kind of history. Like, it was just something completely different that I absolutely loved.
So when you say a 180,
yes,
what did the 180 look like before you got into?
Okay,
were you 500 pounds?
No. But let's just put it this way: I would say to people, if you see me running, call the police because somebody's chasing me. Because it just wasn't me.
Right.
I just didn't. I don't know. And so, anybody who knows me prior to 10 years ago would never think that this is where I would be. Me neither, actually. Like, I didn't. But so, kept on boxing. I started to pursue personal training with the help of my coach at the time. And when he left that gym, I took over his clients and his classes. So then I was teaching boxing all of a sudden.
Oh, nice.
Became my love. And so I left that gym. I went to an MMA gym. And I was training, and I was training other people. I was doing a lot of conditioning for combat athletes, and I had done a lot of research on, what kind of cardio and strength they would need. And then I thought, I can't really train them unless I know exactly what they're going through. Right. And I was training alongside them in some of the things and had my own coaches. And so I decided, I need to fight. So fight camp, everything, because I thought I need to know what this is like from beginning to end. Everything, I went through a couple of injuries during fight camp and stepped into the ring, USKA ring, when I was 41.
Oh, wow.
Fought my fight. I lost, unfortunately, in decision, but it was one of the best/worst things I've ever been through, but all in a positive way, because I learned so many things. I learned so many things about what fighters go through, and that's when I met Herb Althouse. He's the president, founder of USKA. So that's how I met him. I went into his gym. He had a gym, Althouse, karate and kickboxing, and I went in there and I did some training in there, and then did my fight for USKA, and kept going in to train with him and with his team and with his people, and we just developed a really good friendship. And I think maybe 6 months after my fight, he took a bunch of fighters to Canada, so I went with them and we trained up there with a really good Muay Thai team up there, and it just kind of took off. And he asked me, do you want to help with some of the fights, And so I started going in. We've done everything from setting up the ring, breaking down the ring. We worked from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., doing the whole thing. And I shadowed him for some judging and weigh-ins and all this stuff. I didn't realize at the time, but I think he knew what he was doing. He was kind of grooming me for it. But I still was just like, oh, this is great, you know, to be this close to the action and getting to know the fighters and the whole process of everything. And then he had me sit down with him and do some matching with him. And I was like, oh, okay, I see how you're doing this. I see what you're looking at. And I don't know, after a little while, he was like, you know, why don't you match this next one? You know, you take this over.
Nice.
And it kind of went from there. You know, he got me licensed pro and amateur matchmaker from Pennsylvania. And I think about a year after that, he asked me to be his partner in USKA.
Nice. Now, is this the guy that you beat up in the video?
That's him.
All right.
I think he's watching right now.
Yeah, well,
Hi,
that's
Irv.
awesome. Hi, Irv. If you haven't seen the video, Jen actually won the combo hitter contest, and I guess Irv was the guy that she beat up, so that's her partner
That
that
was
she's
him.
talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
So we're still running that contest, by the way, every 2 weeks. Combo Hitters is one of our sponsors, and what Jen and Irv did was it was a video themed about out with the old and in with the new, getting rid of your old punching bag, and coming up with a creative way to do that. And what they did is they submitted about a minute-long video of Jen kicking Irv's butt around.
Yeah.
And Brad Kohler from Combo Hitter shipped them out. I sent him the video, and he said,
They won.
They won.
Yeah.
He said
Yes.
they won for this
I was
one.
so shocked.
So
Yeah.
so Brad shipped them a combo hitter,
I was
and
really
a couple
excited
days
about
later you got it.
Yeah, I got it
And,
last week.
You're installing it, or is it installed?
Oh, no, Irv's going to install that for
He's
me.
going to install it.
Nice.
Yeah. So we have to schedule that, Irv, if you're listening.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you then. You were new to matchmaking,
Yes.
and I hear it all the time from every single matchmaker I talk to, every promoter. Matchmaking is the worst because fighters they'll sign up for an event. Yeah, put me in there. I'm game, and then the week of something happens. Their dog got hit by a car. They got the flu. You know, they're going camping and they forgot about it. Whatever.
They're going to jail. They didn't tell their coach.
Exactly.
You know, I
So-
just had that happen for this card.
So how do you put together a fight card? You know, people are paying money. They want to go see these. You know, fights are going to fall through. When you're putting together a card, how do you do it?
Oh, okay. So
Tough question.
it takes a lot of patience. I will say that. It takes. I don't think every personality can actually do it because it takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of attention to detail, and it's a 24/7 job. I mean, I'm never not working on fights or talking to fighters or trainers, planning for the next card. You know, we have a card coming up in 2 weeks, and I'm already planning and matching for January for the one after that. But, you know, let's say I have 80 submissions of fighters, and, you know, I print them all out. I have them all out in front of me, and I start to separate them into piles, male, female, weight class, record, and I start to narrow them down. You know, I look at it, and I look at the record, and I look at the trainer that they might be coming from, and I try to find the best match that I think they're going to match up well and they could go the distance. Or, I mean, they're both really good. They're coming from, you know, whatever school, and there could be a knockout, you know, because you know how that happens. It just, you know, it can happen like that. But it's difficult because, you know, like you were saying, you put these things together, and then it's like, you know, my fingers are crossed. Usually until, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks out, sometimes the week of. But this time, this particular card, matched the card, and within a week, it was like I had people dropping like flies. You know, I don't know if there was just poor communication between, you know, trainers and their fighters this time, but it was like, oh, you know, my fighter's, he's going to be in South Africa, or he's going to be, how did you not know that when you just took the fight for him?
Right.
So it's like, you know, and I lose one, I'm okay, you know, it's good, I can rematch this. But that's what I mean when I say it's 24/7, because anything can happen anytime, and I have made myself so available. I don't sleep a lot, and people have come to know that. So it's like, you know, they could message me, email me, text me, call me. It could be, you know, 10 a.m., 10 p.m., 1 in the morning, and I'll get messages at all times like, you know, like I just said, you know, we texted the coach for the guy's picture because, you know, everything was confirmed, fight set to go, and then the guy texts back and he said, I didn't even know I had a fight until December. I have court that week, and I think I'm going to be serving some jail time. Like, your coach.
The life of a fighter.
Yeah, your coach confirmed this fight. You know, the other camp, the other guy who's training, he's all said he's ready. So then I'm like, okay, square one on that fight. Now I got to find somebody else to replace that. So I think there's one particular fight on this card that I have rematched 3 times. So it's, you know, it's frustrating, but I don't know. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. I like the challenge of the whole thing. And I always think, no, this is not the one that's going to get me. And I'm going to rematch this, and I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people understand, because I have a Pocono Fight Night, which is amateur boxing, and we have done professional pro-am shows. And similar to you, I book the venue, I match the fights, and one of the things that I always do is try to get 20 fights scheduled, because history shows that 6, 7, 8 of them will fall off by the time the fight actually comes. Luckily, we have a good reputation, so if I book 20 fights, 19 happen, which is good and bad at the same time. Because we give belts out for all of our winners, so now I'm getting 19 belts or 20 belts. But between getting the venue, and I know that you guys have an awesome venue secured down there, and I've actually meant to go down there. I want to see, and
You've meant to?
What I meant to.
You've meant to.
Meant
Are
to.
you coming this time?
I will be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I might even fight if you have a
I will fight
super
you.
heavyweight. I would love to fight you.
Seriously, it is a great show.
Yeah, I saw Irv, and I saw your technique has a little opportunity. So I think I'd be able to.
What type of opportunity?
I
see
keep
your
that
in?
to myself.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
But
Just step my game up,
yes.
AJ.
But anyway, people don't understand how stressful it is. And when you're dealing with amateurs, they have nothing to lose. So it's not like they have a payday coming or anything like that. So if they don't show, they're not going to get paid. So these amateurs, it all comes down to that dedication.
Yes.
And they want to fight. And shame
It's
on the
not always
coaches. Shame on that coach. If that coach doesn't know everything about that fighter, whether they're going to be in court, whether they have a birthday or a family outing or something like that, and that's too often happens. Like I'll make a fight, and then a week before the fight, the coach will be like, oh, he hasn't been in the gym in a month. He hasn't been in the gym in a month. We made this fight 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Didn't you know about this? But hats off to you, because I know how stressful it is. I really do, and
it
seems like Irv is setting you up to take over this. This
He better
company.
not be.
Well, you never know. You never
This
know.
is a partnership.
Well, that's good. That's good. And if you're
And
ever,
to be honest, I said no at first.
did you really?
Yeah, but a year into it, when he asked me to be partner, I kind of said no, because I just didn't think I deserved it. I think I felt like there was a lot more that I had to learn. There was a lot more I had to know. I mean, he'd been doing it, at that point, it was 5 years ago, 12 years, he'd already been doing it. And like, how am I going to catch up to him?
So I'm going to change this. He's not setting you up to take care of it. Irv is a very smart man. He took all the burden and put it on you. Very smart, Irv. I hope you're watching.
And that's why I beat him up the way that
Yes,
I do.
I understand now.
Yes.
So if you're ever interested in coming into amateur boxing and doing the matchmaking and stuff like that, let me know, because I would love to take that burden.
Because you
and
would
give
like...
it- Yes.
I can take no one else's burden, AJ. I can't.
Good deal. But I'm looking forward to coming down on the 21st and checking out this fight.
So tell us a little bit about the fight card. We know we talked about it last week. I believe the main event is Ronnie Ibrahim, right?
Absolutely.
186th pro fight. I mean,
What?
crazy.
What's he fighting
Yes.
every day?
Pretty much. 186th pro
He
fight.
is the longest running Muay Thai
186 pro?
fighter
Pro
in the
fight.
U.S.
He's the longest active Muay Thai
Yeah.
competitor in the United States.
What's he come out with a cane?
No.
Think about that. Think about like guys like
No,
Vitor
he's
Belfort,
amazing.
Yeah.
who are still in the UFC. Fought what was his
30
first UFC?
times?
His first UFC was UFC 13, I
13,
believe.
yeah.
So, and that was probably 1996, right? Something like that. So he's been fighting 21 years mostly for the UFC. He's been in other organizations, but 21 years. He doesn't have 50 fights.
Not even close,
I think
no.
he has like 30 something, 40. I'd have to look at it.
You can
but
take a full division in the UFC, and they don't have 187 fights.
exactly. It's
How old is he?
He is 30.
yeah, it's pretty much.
He started fighting when he was 10 in the U.S. He came here when he was 8. His family moved here from Kuwait.
No
And
kidding.
because of how difficult it was for him to kind of transition into America. You know, his parents put him into fighting because he got made fun of for his accent and just being different and whatever. So
plus America was going through a war, right?
yeah,
At the
so
time,
he
and
started
we
fighting
were
when he was
protecting
10.
Yeah, that's.
And he's been, you know,
Wow.
he's been fighting ever since. His
You probably saw him over there.
his pro record,
Right, when he was 10 years old, before he came over here.
his pro record is 38, 14, and 8. He has 55. I don't even know if the math adds up, but he has 55 pro fights.
Oh, where's this 187?
So where?
Maybe amateur.
Okay,
Amateur.
so it's 180.
Yeah,
but
altogether,
still,
yeah,
either
for
way,
his entire
crazy.
career.
yeah,
That's
think about
crazy.
it. Still
Yes.
186 fights.
That's a lot of fights.
So it's over 200 fights he's had between amateur and pro, right?
It's 186 total.
Oh, 186.
Yeah.
That's still a ton. That's
It's a ton
too
of
many
fights.
fights for a pitcher.
And like I said last week, it's not to disparage the two sports,
Right.
but MMA, there's the possibility of the fight going to the ground
Right.
and being submitted. There's there's a little bit different. This is straight standing,
Striking,
striking
kicking.
all the time. 186 fights
Yeah,
he's possibly got hit in the head.
That's,
You know,
that's
and not to say that he has any damage, but what I'm saying,
I don't.
that's a
No.
lot of competition. It's a lot of abuse to your body.
So picture this: each fight, how many strikes do you think you throw between leg kicks and punches? How many rounds is each
Well, just-
fight? 4?
He's fighting a title fight, so it's 5 rounds.
So 5 rounds.
So
Yeah.
just think about this last weekend, UFC 216.
Right.
Demetrius Johnson, I believe, the main event, or not the co-main event, I believe they said the striking was like something like 120, 130
To 1.
to like 12 or 13
Yeah.
strikes landed. There was a huge difference there,
Yeah.
but that's 130 strikes
Right.
that Johnson threw in that fight.
Yeah. So you picture, even if he's thrown 100, I mean, you're talking, this guy's thrown, just in competition, like 200,000 strikes. And that's on the low end.
I don't know.
Guarantee he throws more than that.
The way they have math today
Yeah.
in the education system with the core, or what is it, Common Core math, it would take me
I-
6
I
hours
kn-
to figure that
I
math
know
Yeah, don't worry
addition,
about that.
subtraction, multiplication, and division. That's all
Yeah.
I know.
But yeah, he started fighting at 10. I mean, my son's 8, and I'm trying to teach him how to tie his shoes.
Right,
So,
right.
2 more years, this
He
guy's
must be a machine. So he's
Yeah.
fighting
He is
for
a
a
machine.
title? Is he fighting for
Yes.
the title?
Yes.
Awesome.
He holds multiple belts and titles.
Yeah.
He holds. They're fighting for the super lightweight. He holds a lightweight title. In 2016, he was ranked 10th in the world, 1st in the U.S. I mean, so that
Yeah.
this is the guy.
Now, is he signed to an exclusive with?
No,
He's not.
Mm-mm.
So could he go and fight Glory or
He could.
Bellator?
he could fight Warrior Line fights. Yes.
Really?
There's controversy there for him, which I won't get into, but you know, having to do with his background and
Right.
the
Now,
things
where's
that
he from?
stands for.
Is he from
He's
Pennsylvania?
from Palestine.
I think they
He's
call
in-
him
he
the
lives in
son,
Philly.
the son.
Oh, he lives in
Son
yeah,
of
his school's in,
Palestine.
yeah, he's got a huge school. Anytime we
does.
write an article about this guy,
Yeah.
anytime, 500 likes.
Really?
I mean, just
Yes.
Man, I got to meet this guy.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And he has there's a number of his amateur fighters, one of them being his nephew on the undercard on the 21st.
Really?
Yeah. They bring a lot of people. I mean, they have
Yeah.
you know, they have great support from all of their students at the gym, but family, friends.
I'd love to talk to him, maybe come up do a seminar. You know what I mean? Or even have him
Yeah.
on the show.
yeah, he is 2 hours away. He's down in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, but you should visit his school. He's got a big following. And,
Yeah.
and, I mean, every show that we're at, where one of his fighters are there,
Yeah.
the crowd is amazing.
It's crazy.
Like,
Yep.
it's crazy.
Awesome.
They have
Yeah.
got a huge following, and like I said, anytime I put up an article about this guy,
Yeah.
within an hour, hundreds of
That's
likes. I mean,
awesome.
sometimes I'll write about somebody, and they get likes, but this guy's guaranteed.
Yeah.
To
And
that extent.
actually, he's going to
yes.
be on. I had Jen and Irv interviewed by Ryan Sprague of the SFLC podcast
Right.
a couple weeks ago. It was a good interview. Rami's going to be on that on Wednesday talking about the fight.
That's awesome.
So
I'm looking.
I'll put that up on the
I
site.
love seeing local people do great. You know, even though I consider Philadelphia local. You know, so you know when somebody from Pennsylvania or these local areas are successful, it's awesome. Not that people from other areas, it's not good when they're successful, but you know, especially when they're that close. You know what I mean? You feel like
hometown.
you're connected to him.
Almost,
Like I don't
yeah.
even know this guy, and
Mhm.
I'm a fan, and I've just heard about him for the last.
Now, if
10
you
minutes.
only had an MMA signatures business where you could go get his autograph, maybe
that would be so awesome.
Yeah, you know
We
anybody?
should start that.
I don't. No, that's actually a good idea.
We're talking about, for those of you listening on GenesisRadio.com, AJ, one of his many ventures, besides the limo company, he just drove a limo here tonight. He owns MMA Signatures. And why don't you tell them a little bit about what you do there, real quick? Since we talked about it before.
Real quick, we're the world's largest mixed martial arts memorabilia company. We have customers in all 50 states and in 40 countries, which is crazy.
Can you name all 40?
I probably could. I probably could.
That would take a while.
Yeah, it would take a while. But basically, what we do is we do public and private signings with professional fighters, UFC, Bellator fighters, and we give the fan the best product. And if you need anything, check out the website www. And I know that you said that you don't need that www.
Yeah, it's 2017.
I still use it. I still use it.
I laughed so hard when
I know.
was
MMASignaturesusa.com. And thanks for making me plug myself.
There you go.
Yeah, but guys, check out our sponsors. Let's take a quick minute to.
So why don't we we've got
a video.
We got a
Or a
commercial real quick from Combo Hitter, because I said we are doing a competition from them. So let's listen to the Combo Hitter commercial real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, the undisputed, indestructible Combo Hitter! The newest innovation in punching technology, the Combo Hitter. It's safe for all ages and physical conditions, easy to install, adjustable, reduces trauma. The Combo Hitter is your perfect punching partner. Official sponsor, FightTVPlus.com.
Yeah, so Combo Hitter, that was one of our sponsors. And who else have we got?
Yeah, we got Campbell's Tree Service. Oh, it's still going. Still going.
You can't get beyond that.
Trying controversy.
You have to talk, don't worry about it. Your voices aren't going out.
Oh, okay. Trying to create controversy.
Yeah, I'm stuck. So stuck.
You got 15 seconds.
All right. Bill, how is our Facebook book?
Well, we are
No, don't tell us.
we're live. So.
There's 10.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Thanks for watching.
So we also have
Campbell's Tree Service. Andy Campbell, they're 3 generations of tree service, landscaping, excavating. They do it all. Free estimates, call 570-595-2190. And Juiced. Eric, what's your favorite thing at Juiced?
I honestly have not eaten yet at Juice. I've got to go there to eat. I mean, I've been to your gym a million times. I've been in the Juice with you, but I haven't actually eaten yet. So you put me on the spot.
I did.
You put me on the spot. But I'm going to be a man and admit it. I haven't eaten at Juice yet. So, but you talk about the buffalo chicken, or who was that Mike?
But yeah, buffalo chicken. They have the chicken bacon ranch, and I eat there every day. So I make up for both of us. No worries.
Okay.
But check them out. They have 2 locations, one in Broadheadsville, and then the other one at 564 Main Street in Stroudsburg. Forza Sports. Thank you, Forza Sports. They're our newest, one of our newer sponsors. They operate out of a 115,000 square foot facility in Penn Argyl, Pennsylvania. They're your #1 sports equipment and apparel retailer in the Northeast. Check them out at forzasports.com.
And then our newest sponsors, Pull No Punches Apparel, owned by Mark Westfall. Now, this guy, I wrote an article about him. I interviewed him. Great man. He basically started an apparel company after his son passed away. His son would always have these like quotes that he would put up on his wall and things like inspirational quotes. So Mark basically started taking some of the quotes, put them on some T-shirts, went to a bar one night, started selling them, and they sold out.
Really?
So he's been growing it. He's been doing. He does cancer ones. He's big into MMA. He goes to a lot of the MMA events, Art of War. I've seen him at. But yeah, it's a good guy. There's an article on MyMMANews.com about him. Just do a search for Pull No Punches Apparel. But yeah. So getting back into USKA fights next Saturday. It's called Night of Champions.
It is.
And what else? We talked about Rami, but who else is going to be? I'm assuming there's more than one title fight because it's called Night of Champions.
That's correct. Matt Coleman is fighting Davis Horacio. Davis Horacio just fought.
That was the guy,
Crumrine.
Mark Crumrine.
Yep, on our last. So Davis holds 2 titles, cruiserweight and heavyweight. That's the one that he just defended against Mark. So this time he's defending cruiserweight against Matt Coleman. We tried to have Matt Coleman on our card before. Something happened, personal reasons for him, but he's been dying to get on a USKA fight. He fought for Lion Fights, his last fight. So that's going to be a good matchup. These are, you've seen Davis fight. He's tough. He's got a certain style. I think Matt maybe is a little more technical, but I think they both kind of have a brawler mentality. So I'm really looking forward to that fight. It's going to be a good one. Those are the 2 title matchups that we have.
Nice. And how many fights do you have on the card right now?
We have 11.
11.
Nice.
Doors are at 6.
Yep.
Right?
Doors open at 6. Fight start at 7. Econo Lodge in Allentown. Bulldog Drive, I believe that is. It's an exciting place.
You gotta go, AJ. Every time Bill and I have gone 3 or 4 times now.
How about this? I'll pick you up in the limo. All right? And we'll drive down to these fights. All right? Actually, I'll get a driver because I plan on getting knuckled up. All right?
I want to ride a limo. Can you
Right?
pick me
So
up
we'll
at
go
my
down in the
room
limo.
and drive me around the corner
Yeah.
to the ballroom?
I'll pick you up
entrance?
too. Yeah, but this is the crazy thing. I hope, you know what'll happen? I'll pick these guys up in the limo, and I'll pick you up in the limo. You'll be, right by
Well,
the.
Jen will be there.
I'll
all
be.
right.
Yeah,
I
she'll
want
be
him to
there
pick
all
me up
day.
at my room, and
I'll
then
pick you
10
up at the
doors
room.
down, the
Yeah,
ballroom.
we'll
Drop me
pull
off.
you right up, right?
We might need a
Eric
photographer for
and
that,
Bill
though.
will be right at ringside.
Uh-huh.
You'll be wherever the heck you want, and I'll be outside because I won't even have a ticket to get in.
I know somebody.
Do you really?
Might
Do you
be
know
able-
somebody?
Yeah, I might be able to
Cool.
get you VIP.
Cool. If not,
seats.
I'd love to fight for that heavyweight title. No problem.
Shit.
No problem
No,
at all.
but seriously, I think we've been to 3 or 4 shows now, maybe even more, 4, maybe 5. But great.
I'm
card.
excited. I'm looking
every
forward to
single
this.
card has been
Right?
is delivered.
I'm going to
and-
agree with you.
And I just love it. Bill stands right up on the cage. And he
Hey, we got a call coming in.
up there. That's Irv Althouse right there.
Stop it.
Oh wow.
Irv,
Hey,
We got a call here, everybody.
what's going
I
on?
want that limo ride.
See what
Oh,
you did?
Irv, you got it. You got it. The only thing I'm a little concerned. You have a glass jaw. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I still have the ice. I still have the ice on too.
Oh, tell me. Well, I'm sitting
That
next
was
to her. I'm
weeks ago.
intimidated by her. She's sitting here. She looks like a professional wrestler.
She's tough. She's tough.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell.
So for those listening at home on Genesis Radio, we have Ert Althouse, the promoter for USKA Fights, on the line. His matchmaker, Jen Heffentrager, is in studio. And we didn't know you were going to call in, Irv, so this is a surprise.
Yeah,
but
thanks
Well,
for
you know
calling.
What? That's good. I wasn't going to, but my ice was kind of done melting. I got some new ice, so I had a couple minutes to just give you guys a yell. I just want to say
New
thank
ice.
you very much for having Jen on. She does a great job for USK. I'm very proud of what she's done and where she's helped bring USK to. And I just want to throw one thing, and then I'll get off and let you guys go. I don't want to cut in on anybody's time. Rami is one of the most humblest people that I've ever met in my life. Not only is he a fantastic fighter, excellent trainer, but he's also a very humble person. And since he is one of USK's champions, if you ever want to have him on the show, I think Jen has some pull there, and I think she can make that happen.
Cool.
So I
Cool.
just want to let you know that. And we're very excited. I know Jen was going to hit on this too. We're very excited about Rami's opponent that is coming in. He's from Portugal, Jen, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So you guys are
Nelson Morea,
Irv, you guys are flying him in from Portugal. When's he flying in?
Thursday.
Yes, he's flying in Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Before the fight. We're putting him up in Philly at a hotel in Philly, and then I must pick him up Thursday morning and drive him to New Jersey to get his medicals because the State Athletic Commission would not accept his medicals from out of the country.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're taking care of all of his medicals here when he flies in, and he's ranked number 15 in the world by WBC.
wow.
So he's not a pushover. He's also a multi-champion himself. We're very excited about that. No one else has ever flown anyone in and done what we're doing. So you don't want to miss this card. It's going to be a great show. And you know, it was tough setting that up too because of the language barrier between them. Everything they sent to us was in Portuguese or whatever, and you know, translating everything. But we're excited about bringing him in. Like I said, we're flying in Wednesday, then I got to drive into New Jersey to get his medicals and stuff done in New Jersey.
I know the curse words in Portuguese. If you ever needed to translate those, I know a few people from Brazil that I spent a lot of time with, so they taught me. But you know what? You brought up something good because this is something that I wasn't, I really didn't understand too much, and because I deal with boxing and MMA a lot, and I know how the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission does, you know, with medical, so on and so forth. How do you go about sanctioning a kickboxing match? Because you don't have to deal with the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission,
They do.
correct?
They do. They're there.
Really?
On everything, yes.
We do.
Oh, okay.
We do.
Great, sir.
The thing with Pennsylvania does not recognize any outside sanctioning body other than themselves.
Right.
So our show is dual sanctioned. It's dual sanctioned by USKA as well as Pennsylvania Athletic Commission. So there's, you know, we have a complete set of rules that we use for outside of Pennsylvania and other states, but you've got to follow by the guidelines for each state. So it makes it very difficult with Pennsylvania. Now, they accepted his blood work from out of the country, but they won't accept his medicals. So.
Right. Wow, I didn't realize that Greg Serb and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission sanctioned these fights. I thought kickboxing was totally different. So, all right. So what I was going to do was going to be illegal. All right. So I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to change a few things up now for the future.
Jen,
Yes.
that called smoke? Don't we call them smokers?
Smokers,
Yeah.
yeah, we call them smokers too.
We do not support smokers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. But
Well,
can
that'll be
sanction-
another
we
show,
can
Eric. We're
sanction
gonna
your
have
event though, AJ. You
Right.
need our help.
here.
Yeah,
I'll
definitely.
let you go. I just had to call and just make sure you know. Just watch her hook, because that hook is nasty.
Yeah. Oh, I saw it.
All
I
right.
saw it.
Thank-
I'm a little nervous
Thanks,
here.
sir.
Thanks for calling in, Irv.
Thanks, Irv.
You're welcome. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was Irv from
USKA.
USKA.
Yeah, he's I guess the founder, right? The
He
owner?
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's
Jen-
awesome.
Jen is partners with him.
Now, did he was he a kickboxer? Irv?
Yeah, kickboxer,
Now-
karate.
Karate?
I spoke with him. Jen was there, and Bill. We were in Philadelphia, one of their last cards, and Irv has an interesting story. And I talked to him today. He's gonna come in here one day.
Awesome.
Because
Awesome.
he's got some great stories. He was shot.
What's it?
Oh,
That's
you
awesome.
need,
What a
you
great
need several
story.
hours to
I mean,
cover.
How could that even be a
Irv's
great
life.
story?
No, well, I mean, it was
Yeah.
it was a great friend, but
He got shot. It was great.
but
No, but how it turned out and
how it
what
turned out, and
his
he
journey
got
has
into
been.
I mean, he's had some real health issues. He's had brain surgery.
Oh, Lord.
He's had
Year
some-
ago in August, he
Yeah.
had brain aneurysm surgery.
Did he
Yeah,
really?
so
He's
he's a
had
great
knee
guy.
replaced, hip replaced.
Yeah, you got to
Oh,
look
he's
at this
like
video.
a world champion brick.
You ever see like the old
breaker.
karate videos?
Like all the way up on a scaffold.
Really?
He's on YouTube.
Climb all the way up. Yeah.
Guy's
he's-
awesome.
So,
yeah.
so there's a good chance that what you're
He's my
saying is
hero.
when you kicked his butt on that video, that was fake, right? Is that basically
You
what
know
you're
what?
you're trying to tell us?
His nose was bleeding and he had a black eye. So I don't know.
Yeah.
He lets me hit him though.
Yeah.
So come
So
on.
what else?
Yeah.
What else is on the fight card? Because I know you've got a few female fights in there, right? No,
We only have one.
one,
Yeah, which hurts my soul.
and we interviewed. The interview was
Julie.
on our on
Julie
our
Keller.
website today. Julie, what's
Keller.
Julie Keller. Bob Maloney, I believe he's going to be at the card. He works with me at
Yes.
MyMMANews. He interviewed Julie. Great interview, and we put that up today. So it should be like the main article right now on
That I'm gonna
MyMMANews.com.
tell you guys right now. That'll be the best fight of the night. Girls, when women fight,
It very well
they
could
always have the best fights. There's never a boring women's fight, right, Bill?
I agree. I don't think so either.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
have
s-
to say,
they
they are
put
the
it-
easiest fighters to deal with
Yeah.
because they will do what you ask immediately,
Yeah.
and there will never be any question again.
And they put it all on the line
They do.
every time. Every time.
So what else is on the card? Anything else that we want to highlight, talk about? We're what 10
Everything.
days out now.
I want to highlight everyone.
All right,
Yeah.
so go ahead. Let's go. Let's run down.
Okay, so I think the first match that I made for this card was John Fox. He's out of Right Fight Concepts, Cressman MMA in New Jersey. Jeff Cressman is his coach. Irv and I actually were there a couple weeks ago and we trained with them. We kind of are doing, we've been invited to a lot of gyms that want us to come and train with them and just show us their home, so to speak, you know. So we're kind of on a gym tour. You have a gym, right?
Yeah, I'd love for you to come up to our
And then
gym.
you could get in those openings where you saw that you could.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's fantastic.
You guys are more than welcome.
We
anytime.
honestly, we would love to. I mean, I'm serious. Like, we're on a gym tour. We want to go and see what everybody's doing, where they're training, what's going on.
We have a very successful
important to
gym.
us.
Boxing, mixed martial arts, and jiu-jitsu. And one of the things that people always ask when they come in, do you have kickboxing? Kickboxing. We had one of the best trainers in the area, Masonette. I don't know if you're familiar with.
He has somebody on the card too.
Oh, really?
They
awesome.
are.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
You got to, and you got to hear. It's funny. He cracks me up
Both of
because
their
he'll be yelling at the ref during the fight.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
always the one time I literally almost fell out of my seat because he's sitting there and he's like, I've got 30 some years in this sport.
Yeah.
He's
That was probably
he's
was
telling
that
the
at one
ref-
of our fights?
Yes,
I
it
think
was.
so.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Too.
So
They're.
he was at our gym, but then he opened up his own gym,
Yes.
and he's very successful up there. He's a great guy, Masonette. And then we have Sean Diggs, who's
Yes.
Muay Thai, and he's converted it more to MMA. So he comes up to the gym often. Not often, I don't want to say often because he's so busy working with a lot of the other fighters. With open arms, I would love to have you guys come up and let me know, because we have so many eager fighters in our gym that want to learn that kickboxing.
Oh my gosh, we would definitely come and do something. I trained under Irv for several years and went through his belt system.
That's awesome.
And he got me all the way to second degree black belt. But yeah, so
you're a black belt.
we would
Huh.
we would be
She will kick your
happy
ass.
to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, not about me, about the card. So John Fox went up there and trained with them. Jeff Cressman, he fought amateur and pro MMA, Muay Thai. These guys are phenomenal. Great school. He's fighting Dave Hard, Next Level Martial Arts. They both have a record of 1-3, but I think both of them are better than their records reflect. But it's going to be a great match. It's almost a perfect match. And I've talked to Dave's trainer, Tony Williams, and tweaked his style a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see what he does and comes out with. And John, when I was just there, he looked amazing. It's going to be a tough fight, I think. Amir Mustafa is on the card. That is Rami's nephew. He had his debut on our card. He won against Tiger Schulman.
That was the July card, right?
That was.
Yeah.
So he's coming back, and he is fighting Raimundo Chavez, who is coming in. They just agreed to the fight over the weekend, so he's stepping in last minute from Algio MMA. I don't know if you guys know Bill Algio.
Yep.
He's a pro. Actually, we would love to have him fight pro on our January card if I could talk him into it. He's been doing pro MMA. But so we have those guys. I think our first fight out for the night is going to be Ty Shovlin, who he fights out of Gracie 717. You guys know Zach Kelly.
Yeah.
Actually, Zach has a fight coming up.
Zach
right,
is
this
fighting
weekend. Saturday.
He's the main event for Art
He,
of War.
he's amazing to work with, as far as having to be in touch with a coach who is on top of his fighters, and opposite of what we were talking about earlier with the miscommunication. He always knows what's going on with his fighters. He always knows where they are with their weights and their schedules and how much they've been in the gym and everything like that. So Ty Shovlin is making his debut against Omar Principe. He's out of Next Gen MMA, and this is the first time we're having them on our card. So it'll be interesting. It's a debut for both of them, welterweight. So that should be fun. Like I said, they're going to be the first ones out. They are fighting USKA rules. All the other fights on our card are going to be Muay Thai, which I talked about this before.
You brought up a good point.
Yeah, total switch of what we used to do, because everything used to be kickboxing.
Yeah.
When I first started matching, everything was kickboxing, and there'd be random Muay Thai fight in there.
Right.
Now the tides have turned, you know, with Glory and Lion fights. I think, you know, Muay Thai really took off.
Yeah.
It's been around for hundreds of years, but it's really taken off with USKA too. It's
That's
you know,
awesome.
I'm surprised that we have this many Muay Thai fights on our card at this point.
What is the difference? You brought up something that I wanted to ask.
The
What's the
rules?
difference? Yeah, what is the difference on the rules for those who don't know?
So USKA rules was kind of a blend of Glory rules and K1 rules of what we used to have. So in USKA rules, you can clinch for 5 seconds. The ref will be doing a count in his head. The clinch has to be active for 5 seconds, and then they'll break it up. Muay Thai, you can clinch as long as you're active for however long. As long as it's an active, you know, good working clinch and everything, you know, you can keep on going. So
But amateur, you can only throw one knee, correct? Is it
No.
one knee at a time?
no.
Really?
That was more K1,
K1.
you know, if you had one grab
Right.
and one strike, you know, one knee, then you had to let go.
Okay.
But so it's 5 seconds. I mean, you could throw as many knees as
Right.
you want in 5 seconds,
Yeah.
but then the ref's going to break you up.
All right. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
And which is, you know, Glory rules. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is. You know, you can do one strike, you know, with one hand. I believe it is. But so everything else is Muay Thai. You know, so you're going to see a lot of clinch
Yeah,
work.
Muay Thai
You know, I
is fun.
don't. The important thing to note about that, if there's fans who are listening that don't completely understand, because, you know, there's always going to be an issue with judging.
Oh, with
No matter, you know, no, it doesn't matter if it's UFC and somebody doesn't like, you know, the way the scoring went or something. But I think that the tough part about Muay Thai, when we have kind of transitioned from kickboxing, Muay Thai is not scored on who's winning the round as far as controlling it, so much as, you know, if somebody is really active in the clinch and they are doing a lot of striking with knees while they're in the clinch, that is going to score more points than if, you know, we're standing and striking and I punch you a lot in the face and it seems like I'm tougher, I have more punches. But if you are dominating me in the clinch and you're throwing a lot of knees, and that's where most of the force is during that round, then you're going to win.
Right.
You know, you're going to win that round, because that's what score. You know, you have to look at what the striking is and what the things are that score points, because a lot of fans that are watching and that are at the fights are like, oh, that so-and-so dominated. How did he lose that fight? But like, if you look at the certain things that he was dominating in, you know, it may not have been the clinch, and in the clinch, and that's where the points score for Muay Thai.
So Mason, I'd have anybody on the show this
They
time?
do.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I want to see
Did you
Louis.
just
They
miss
do.
that part of the show?
Yeah. Well, no, I
Did we,
I didn't
were
hear.
you just
I didn't
not
hear the,
listening to anything
No,
I said?
I didn't hear
and
the
you were in your
name.
head
Who-
thinking,
I
is Mason on something?
yeah. Well, no. I know we talked about him,
Yeah.
but who does he have on the show? I didn't hear the name. Yet.
Henry Neonti Jr. He's making his debut.
Okay, I don't know Henry. A lot of his fighters up there, I'm familiar with, because you know, they were at our gym, and then you know, he's got an amazing style. You know, and I think he's a 2-time world Muay Thai champion. He's very good. Oh, is he? All right, good. I'm
Hey.
glad that he's
Hey, crew.
he's watching, and you know, he's gonna build champions out of there. He's
He
one of the
is
best
building
trainers.
champions.
Yeah, he's one
I
of the
mean,
best
he
trainers
had
I've seen.
when we just did our debut show in Philly,
Yeah.
because we've been trying to get into Philly for a long time, you know, for a couple of years, and we had our fight there. His fighter, young girl, debut fight.
Yeah.
That, I mean, wasn't that one of the fights of the night? I mean, I thought,
Absolutely.
I mean, hands down, both of these girls were debut fighters. They're 16 years old.
Right.
And they've both been training about a year. And I really had to go to bat, you know, speaking of Greg Serb and the commission, I had to go to bat for that. Because they're only supposed to be 16, you know, that's the age. But, you know, the girl had been training for a year. She was turning 16 2 weeks after the fight. And I said, you know, the training and the experience and the school, it's all backing this. Like, this, you got to let this girl fight.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And that's, you know, it's one of his girls,
Yeah.
Mariah Grainer.
Mariah, yeah, she
Yeah.
used to train at our
Oh
gym.
my gosh, she's
Yeah,
such
she's
a great
Comes
girl.
full circle.
Yeah.
It always
Such-
does. Every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
Such
She
a
used to
tough,
train at our gym,
tough
and then she.
girl. You worked with her mom.
Did you?
See?
Yeah, when we were
Wow.
trying to get into the 2300 arena for the show,
Oh, that's when
yeah,
you guys said like, you
Bill,
ran into
Bill just
somebody.
goes up to like this woman. He's like talking to her, a stranger, and I'm like, who's that? And he's like, what are you, teacher or something like that?
We worked together. I was a busboy.
Oh, yeah, busboy.
Waitress
Wow.
20 some odd years ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're a great family. You know,
I gotta put him on a leash sometimes. He knows
Oh,
everybody.
I know.
He knows everybody.
Yeah. That's
But,
Bill McKee. Bill McKee.
We're running
Bill.
we're running out of time here.
Wow,
So
this
real
was
quick,
a fun show.
Yeah, I
learned a lot.
I want to give every fighter on the card a chance there to have their talk about. So anybody
so
else?
many.
Yeah.
Danny Inch, Jesse Burke. Jesse Burke's out of Scranton MMA. Danny Inch is another one of Bill Algio's fighters. Love that guy. He's very dedicated. It's a lightweight fight. Danny's 3-1 and Jesse's 4-1. Another guy, Algio MMA, also Bill's guy, Sean Morgan.
Yeah.
You guys were there and saw his debut.
This guy is a monster.
This guy is amazing.
Is he out of Scranton?
No, he's
you're thinking
one
about
of Bill Algio's
you're thinking
guys.
of Dave Morgan.
Oh yeah.
But this guy, I had to go up after the fight. I went up to Bill Algio and I'm like, did that guy ever fight before? Like, does he have any MMA? No. I think he's a dancer or something, right?
I don't even know his
I
background.
think
He's
dancer.
one of the
What kind of
nicest guys.
dancer?
This guy is
He is
massive.
chiseled, and his form and his technique.
Like a Chippendale?
You just
No.
No, but so impressive.
No, I'm telling you,
He's
I'll
1-0. It's
Is
a
it?
cruiserweight fight.
You know what's
Aaron
crazy?
Kennelly from. Have you heard of
this
Deepwater
guy,
BJJ? Are they
he
up this way?
could be like a
No.
stand-in for like Hercules or something if they do like a
Yeah.
television
Really?
series. He's massive.
I see
Yeah.
Louis Rumsey is fighting.
Yeah,
He
pro.
fights everywhere.
Yeah, he's,
Yeah,
Good
I was
for
gonna
him.
say he's a Team Vicious. Like,
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
up
He
there?
just fought for a lion
Well,
fight.
he's
I believe.
out
He
in
did. His last
Central,
fight
Pennsylvania.
was
He's-
line fight. He's fighting Nate Kennard. Nate's out of Hanover Academy. Bob Bittner is actually his coach. Bob does a lot of judging for us. He's
good.
actually.
Hopefully he's not judging that fight, right? That'd be a
No,
little
we would not
screwed up.
allow that.
All right. Well, that's
No, they play by the rules.
The state brings in a couple of additional judges for us. Joe Byers, also out of Hanover Academy of MMA. Bob Bittner, he will not be judging that fight. Bo Bradley, we have actually Frank Travato and Bo Bradley are both from 5 Points Muay Thai. Steve Millis, Adrian Steve Millis. I mean, stand-up guy. Like the team that he brings. Like these people are amazing. They're from New York City. Their skill and their technique are phenomenal. Frank Travato is his guy, light heavyweight. It's his debut, and Bo Bradley is 3-5. Lightweight is going to be a tie fight. We already talked about Julie Keller. Noemi Perez is who she's fighting from Deepwater BJJ. It's their second time that they've had fighters on our cards. It's been a while. John Musser was on our card last year. They brought a lot of people, though. They're a great school, have a lot of support. I think, Jeff Castagni is fighting Frank Travato. Mike Pandolfini, hybrid kickboxing in New Jersey. He works alongside Jeff Cressman, who I already mentioned. But I'm really excited about this card.
And how can anybody get tickets?
USKAfights.com. You can go right to the site. We have no more tickets in hand. We gave them all out to fighters.
So AJ has to beg,
yeah, I'm screwed.
Yes.
or does he?
You're gonna have
I'll
to
just
name
be the
drop.
driver. I'll be the limo
You
driver.
gotta
That's
name
it.
drop at the door and pretend you know me.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll just drive you guys down and hang out. Just
It's
let me
going to
know
be a
what-
good show, though. It's, groundbreaking with Rami and Nelson from Portugal coming in. I mean, it's huge. It's, it's huge for us, honestly. And if I can just say, we're going back to Philly. January 20th will be at 2300 Arena. Again, it's also going to be a pro-am. We already have one exciting super heavyweight fight. I'm not going to name any names at this point. Lightweight male fight and a lightweight female fight is what we're looking to do for pros. So,
Nice.
Now, how many pros, how many amateur fights are on this total? I mean, I know that we know that there's
3 and 10. No, I'm lying. 3 and 9.
3 and 9.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, three pro.
We're allowed to have 14 fights on, as per the state, with the insurance company that we use. Any more than that is a liability. We used to have 20 fights, like you were saying before. That was insane. Cards would end at midnight.
Yeah, the
It was
ACC
so
card I'm going
long.
to, Veterans Day. Eugene Perez, he booked like 20. I might as well bring a sleeping bag.
Absolutely.
Because I'm
Yeah.
commentating that night too with Shane Burgos.
That's
and
a long
it starts at like 7 or 7, and like
You can be
20
there
fights.
all
I'm gonna
night.
be there all night.
You
They
will
put
be.
on a good show, though.
They do. They
Yeah.
do.
Just get a room.
So let me ask you that real quick. I know that we're running out of time. This has been a great show. I had fun.
I
Me
told
too.
you. I
Thank
told
you.
But if you're a professional MMA fighter, if you're, do you necessarily have to be a professional USKA fighter, or can you be
You-
like Louis Rumsey? He's
Yeah.
he's a professional MMA fighter. Is he a professional with you
Yes.
guys? Oh, is he?
Well, he professional Muay Thai fighter. So he's
Okay.
fighting professional Muay Thai.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's that kind of that's a good question, but I'm trying to think of her name right now. Devin Estes.
Yes.
She fought pro for you, right?
No.
It was Amy.
That was Amy.
It was
Oh.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say she fought MMA last weekend at Maverick, and it was an amateur fight. She fought Destiny.
Right.
She
right.
won the
So-
belt.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. You know what's crazy? Because boxing, if you're a professional boxer, you could go amateur MMA. But if you're a professional MMA, you have to go
I
professional
wonder if
boxing.
I wonder if any UFC fighter will go to boxing and headline a boxing card.
I wonder. That would be
You
so.
think that'll ever happen?
I
That
doubt
would
it. I
be
doubt
so
it.
strange. There'd be a lot of controversy.
Yeah,
on
that'd
that.
be-
I'd probably pay him like $100 million or something.
Yeah, at least. At least.
But
That would split the crowd on
Yeah.
who's gonna win.
yeah.
Yeah, that would
But-
be talk for months on Facebook.
We only have about 2 minutes left, so real quick, I want to just talk about the two title fights in this weekend's UFC 216. The main event, obviously, we had Tony Ferguson, Kevin Lee. There was several reasons the fight almost didn't happen. Number one, the very sad tragedy, the shooting last Sunday in Vegas. Then we found out, like Monday or Tuesday, I believe Tony Ferguson, who was headlining it, his wife and kids were going to the music festival.
Right.
So could you imagine if, I mean, number one, the UFC kept the card on.
Right.
But then also, say they were there, he would have had he would have pulled out. He would.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's not something
without
that you
doubt.
could have.
He would have pulled out of the fight. Then, also in the main event, Kevin Lee, his opponent, cut like 19 pounds the last day.
Yeah.
24 hours.
24 hours. He missed weight the first time. You have to be 155. He came in at 156. Had another hour to cut a pound. And then he fights, and the first thing that Joe Rogan says is that staph infection on
Right.
his chest?
Yeah.
And then he talks about, he admits, I had to hide it from the commission, and it was staph infection.
Yeah.
But I think that's a dangerous spot there. I mean, it's kind of setting a precedent because now they've got to physically check them. But I know you can physically get hurt in a combat sport, but he put Tony in danger because staph can kill you.
Without a doubt. Without
And
a doubt.
it is contagious.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes, it is
um,
contagious. And sometimes it goes all the way down to like the bone.
yeah.
Like if you don't
It
get
it almost killed Kevin Randleman.
Right.
Right. So, it's just crazy that he was allowed to do that. Then we got about a minute left. So the other thing was the co-main event. Demetrius Johnson defended his flyweight title, and he broke the record.
Yeah, and he pulled off a move that I have never seen ever before. And he said that it's something that he practices all the time in the gym.
He
I've
said,
seen
yeah,
I've
that
seen
he
like
did it,
variations
yeah.
of it. I mean, I've seen people do like a transition into an armbar like that, but not the way he did it
In
in,
the
that, in that
mid-air.
caliber of
Yeah.
fight. And it was just beautiful. I mean, that's probably it could be the submission of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be because he broke the record with it.
Right.
He's got 11 title defenses. So
Yeah, that's who could beat this man? Anybody? What should Demetrius Johnson do right now?
there are talks of guys. They did that whole Ultimate Fighter to find a champion to come in there and fight him and kind of give him a challenge. But Tim Elliott ended up giving him all 5 rounds. He went all 5 rounds. It was a very tough fight, but still wasn't very challenging for, I guess, to take the title. I mean, he didn't really put Demetrius in that big of a dangerous position. But I don't know. I mean, there are guys out there. There's always going to be guys out there. But I think what's going to happen here is either he's going to move to another weight class, which he already said he's not doing. He said there's still guys around the fight. But I think just over time, eventually he's going to start, just like any other fighter, he doesn't take a lot of damage in his fights, number one. But
Right.
I think over time, as he gets older and it's not, somebody's going to catch him. It's just going to, I don't know who, but it's going to happen eventually. It's got to.
Yeah, he's I mean, he just gets better and better and better. There wasn't a move that he wasn't in that he didn't have an answer for.
Yeah, and like I said, over 120. I got to look at the final stats, but I remember in the final round they were saying it was like 120 to like 12 strikes.
Yeah.
a 100 strike difference there. But anyway, it was a great card. We've got the UFC coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend.
What happened with Derek Lewis? Back spasms?
Back spasms.
Because I'll tell you what, that I was really looking forward to that fight.
Yeah.
I think that was going to be a much better fight. But how about Fabricio Verdum? Is he not probably the best
Yeah,
BJJ practitioner? I mean, we always talked about Frank Mir. I think him and Frank Mir would be one heck of a fight, even though their rankings are so far apart. But they're both amazing jiu-jitsu practitioners. That would be one heck of a fight.
Yeah,
I was really hoping that we would have been able to see Walt Harris show some of his skills, because Walt Harris is no joke. Given
it was just too fast, too soon for him.
Yeah.
He stepped up there a couple
Yeah.
hours notice. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up for this week. I thought it was a great show. Thanks for coming in, Jen.
Thank you for
and
inviting me. I really
once
appreciate
again,
it.
why don't you tell
Fun.
people where
Thank you.
they can get tickets? I know you said there's nothing really available left, but
No, you can buy them online.
Okay.
We can't send any to anybody. You'll get on a list for buying online, USKAfights.com. Your name would be at the door if you pay through PayPal. So it's a sold out show. It's going to be great. You guys are all going to be there. We're going to drive in a limo.
Yes.
What could be better?
It's going to be a great time. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Combo Hitter, Campbell's Tree Service, Juiced, Forza Sports, and Pull No Punches for always having our back. Please check out all those locations. And
we'll have to see who we bring in for next week. I'm gonna do some digging. There's some local talent around here.
Oh, yeah.
We'll let you know throughout the week who's going to be coming in here for next week's show. But for now, thank you for listening on GenesisRadio.com and on the MyMMA News Facebook page. Thank you.